Hi, guys. Welcome back to Podtail Podcast. My name is Shalom, and we are at the Grand Empire Hotel. I'm joined by three lovely individuals, and I'm going to let them tell us their names and what they do.
Hi guys, my name is Hogla and I'm a mechatronics engineer. I'm happy to be here today and I can't wait to have a conversation with these people around me.
Hi guys, my name is Noel. I'm a student. Yes.
Hi, I'm Caroline and I'm a nurse. I'm also happy to be here. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, so today's topic is quite interesting. We're going to talk about masculine and feminine energy and how it's rooted in patriarchy. So, Caroline, what is masculine energy according to you? What do you think about when you think about masculine energy? What comes to your head?
When I think about masculine energy, what comes to my head is the physical strength.
Physical strength.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ogla.
Oh, masculine energy is power. Let me say power, strength, and also responsible. Responsible. Yes.
For me, masculine energy, I guess it's a term that keeps changing. So, when you say it, I'd think of the traditional traits like strength, and as they've mentioned, like power and, physical attributes. But at the same time, I'm saying it's changing because I also feel like in today's world, an emotionally intelligent man is masculine as well to me. That is.
Okay, so Noel, what comes to your mind when you think about feminine energy?
Feminine energy is
Mm-hmm.
nurturing.
Yeah,
It is emotional.
emotional. Mm-hmm.
Yes. But also it is. Let me say, iko na hizo mbili. It's like kind of a woman side.
Nurturing and emotional.
Yes.
Yeah, as I said before, we can describe it with the traditional traits like nurturing, being a caregiver, being graceful. We can also attribute it with physical attributes such as beauty, and yeah. So in a nutshell, tunaweza sema hizo.
Feminine energy is looking good, smelling nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, looking pretty.
Okay, I'd like to think that as humans, we all have a masculine side and a feminine side, right?
Sure.
Mm. Okay, so what is patriarchy? Because maybe tuko hapa tunasema sema tu patriarchy and there's someone who does not understand what patriarchy is.
Okay, so basically tunaweza sema patriarchy is basically a society which gives with an even distribution of power, and in this case men are the ones who hold majority of this power. Naweza digress kidogo, but we like to think that patriarchy has always been there, but if you look back to the African society, you'll come to realize that it wasn't always a patriarchal society, because in the past you'd find women participating in decision making because they'd be seen as advisors. They'd also participate in trade, in farming, and I feel like patriarchy was largely influenced by colonialism. Yeah.
Okay, for me, patriarchy is a system whereby men hold the primary power.
Yeah,
Okay,
primary
and then
power.
the women are the one supporting the men.
Supporting.
Yes.
Patriarchy, it's just a structure which we just how can I say it? Like it's a structure where we say certain values are supposed to be this way and this way. Yeah, something of the sort.
Okay, so do you think that patriarchy has affected how we view masculinity and femininity?
Yeah, I'd say it has contributed a lot to how we see it,
Mm-hmm.
simply because, especially in our Kenyan setup,
Yeah.
you can see that patriarchy levels up to some values being divided as women's values, the other ones to be male,
Yeah.
where when you defy those roles, maybe you can be termed as not respective or something of the sort.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So you wanna add something? Okay. Okay. I feel with patriarchy kuna some unreachable standards zenye ziko set, especially with men being masculine. Like men have to be masculine, you know. Inakuja, it becomes kind of tough on men. Noel, do you want to say something about that? Like the expectation to be masculine. I wanted to ask you, have you ever been pressured to be masculine?
It's a very good question, by the way.
Yeah.
Okay, for men it's very hard.
Mm-hmm.
As a man, you have to be responsible, you have to be like productive,
Mm-hmm.
don't be like just sleeping, always
Mm-hmm.
work hard,
Mm-hmm.
do your work, provide for your family.
Yeah.
Sometimes also it's a in let me say what what here it's
It's tough.
it's tough, yeah.
Yeah. Like men cannot be emotional because it's termed feminine. Tell us what you think about
Yeah, no, I agree. I feel like the patriarchy has stifled men of their humanity, and it puts them in this box where they should be afraid of fear, they should be afraid of being vulnerable, and they can't show their weaknesses. And like I was thinking about it the other day, and it's like unaweza pata madem like wamekaa chini just doing nothing, like that's you just sit down, be like you're not doing anything. But with men there's always the third thing. So like, oh, kuja tuende tucheze FIFA ama like tuende to watch game, but it's never just like kuja tukae, let's just be, yeah. And I feel like that's like patriarchy has largely influenced that. Yeah.
Okay, so Caroline, I want to ask you, have you ever been pressured to be more feminine?
Pressured in what sense? Because I don't think I've ever been pressured to be feminine.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we're just
You
existing.
just like, but do you feel like,
Like, uh-huh.
do you feel like in the society that we live in right now, sometimes there's like pressure on women to be a particular way?
Yeah, there's a pressure. Um, there's pressure because you'd find that people expect women to downgrade a bit when
Yeah.
they're in sitting at maybe in a room with a room full of men.
Mm-hmm.
You'd find most of the time that the men will take the leading roles.
True.
Whereas when you find a woman who's in a leading role,
Mm-hmm.
she'll be termed as not feminine,
Yeah, or aggressive.
or aggressive.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. And all of those are rooted in patriarchy because men are the ones who are supposed to lead, men are the ones who are supposed to be strong. So naturally for women, you're supposed to be under. And when you're out there and you're strong, people start saying you're aggressive, uko na kichwa ngumu, una bossy. Yeah. So I wanted to go into marketing. The way men's products are marketed, crazy. Like utapata deodorant ya men, ice chill. For women, it's like pink something. What do you guys think about that in relation to masculine and feminine energy? Why do men's things have to be marketed in a certain type of way? Noel or anyone who can talk.
Okay.
I don't think I got your question. Yeah. Like,
Should I repeat it
yeah.
again?
Yeah.
So in marketing, in products, men's items are marketed like strongly. Even the colors are dark. Deodorant inaitwa ice chill.
Yeah.
For women, it's pink promise, pink something, and I feel like that is kind of related to patriarchy. And like, how does it? What do you guys think about that generally? Like, why do they have to market their things?
You know, coming to think of it, I never thought of it this way. But now that you've pointed it out, it may click like, yeah, you're right. And I feel like they do that because they take the masculine traits that you've just mentioned, put it into a product. So, you know, when you use it, you can feel a certain way. Yeah. And even like with the same with the feminine products. Plus, you know, we like pink. The theme of my room is pink. So if I see something pink, atakama like saa zingine, it's like it's not useful. It's like, okay, I'll just get it because it's pink. Yeah. So I think, yeah, it's affected by the femininity and the masculinity. And I think it works. So, yeah.
For me, it's the society.
Society.
Okay, since we were young, we were told that most girls love pink.
Pink. So pink is a
Yes.
girl's color.
Yeah, purple.
Purple.
Men
Yeah.
are not supposed. Juu hadi wewe ukivaa as a man ukivaa kitu ya purple
Pink.
anaanza kukujudge. You
Oh,
see?
yeah.
Yeah. Yes,
Na
ama
ya
yellow, you
yellow.
see?
Naanza kukujudge.
Ama green, yeah.
Yeah. And I feel like you guys have had something called pink tax. Okay, let's talk about shaving razors. Big, easy big za men, the normal blue ones, Gillette, sorry. They're usually mm, they're usually cheaper than the pink ones. Like hii ingine ni pink, so ni a bit pricey. Have you ever noticed that before? We have noticed it. Niliona juzi.
Again, it's something that I didn't pay attention to, but now that you've brought it up, I see it. And then, like, to add on that, it's like, why are we paying for sanitary towels? Like, I don't choose to have periods, Nikki, to, like, I was born with it because I'm a woman. And there are girls who cannot afford to buy sanitary towels, but that does not mean that they don't get their periods. And, you know, like, they're not just selling it, but selling it at an expensive price. So, yeah.
Even I also think the same. We're not supposed to be even given taxes for sanitary towels. More so, they're not supposed to be covering the sanitary towels in the. Sometimes when you buy it, they cover for you
The
in a gazette.
yeah.
So why are we supposed to be hiding it?
Now that you've said that,
Mhm.
I've thought about how society has made femininity look like something to be ashamed of. Yeah, society has made femininity look like something to be ashamed of. Mbona unafunga pads na gazeti na tunanyesha? That's something that is biological. Yeah. So, in that, what do you think about effeminate men, like men who put polish on their hands and things like that, like men who like to do their hair? There's some men who also do their edges. What do you guys think about that? Juu tushasema society has made it look bad. So your personal opinions, yeah. Noel, tell us.
Okay, for the men,
Yep.
the society maker like men wana like yo kuweka nywele like putting edges is giving gayism. Yeah. Giving girlish.
It's giving LMNOP.
Yeah, you see. Like wanasema a man should not put his hair afanye nini,
Yeah.
like nails akwe too clean but the nails are polish and everything.
Yeah. Okay, so if you are a dad, in the future and you had daughters, and then during playtime your daughters tell you, "Daddy, si nikupake Cutex." Are you going to accept it? Ama
It
what
depends.
would you do in that situation?
It depends.
Yeah.
If it's,
On what?
kama ni small children it's okay.
Small children, yeah.
Okay, na pia si zote.
Yeah, yeah. Why one?
Juu I can't go to work if I have watasema oi manza.
Umeanza. Alafu utoe.
Okay, inaweza it's okay for me, it's okay.
It's okay.
In the house.
In the house.
Okay.
Society
Yes,
sees
they
it
will
in a
judge
certain
me.
way.
Okay.
Okay, that's good.
Sasa, if they judge you when you go outside, what if they nail polish you and then they record it and post it online? Will you still feel some embarrassment?
There will be embarrassment because lazima itakuwa hadi I'll make them delete the post.
So unaona how Noel thinks it shows us like how our society is and how these things are looked down upon. Like being feminine is something that you don't want people to know this side. One of my friends was telling me he can do a face mask, but he can't do it and let his other male friends know that I put on face masks. So that's the sad thing about it. And I feel like we need to redefine masculinity and femininity. Hogla had talked about these things are things that keep on changing. And you had mentioned something about emotional intelligence is masculine to you. So I'd like you to tell us more about what you had said about emotional intelligence being masculine, because you're trying to redefine these societal norms.
The main reason why I said it's masculine, it's because normally we attribute it as a feminine trait. And what I'm trying to say is that like both men and women should be emotionally intelligent, like not just one person. And like when we grow up, like girls are prepared for marriages, right? Like ni kama uanze kujua kupika and like kufanya kukua a caregiver basically to run a household, but then at the same time I don't feel like men are prepared for that, but marriage is a partnership between both the man and the woman. So if you're not aware of these things, then how is the marriage supposed to work? Yeah.
I like venye umesema men are not really prepared for this. Like sisi from a young age, you're prepared to cook and do all these things. For men, Noel, what are you guys taught? Because we need your perspective.
Okay, for our like this generation ya saizi
Yeah.
sika ya kitambo.
Yeah.
So wa saizi like a lot of men know how to cook, to mop the house, everything, house
Yeah,
chores.
yeah.
It has changed since kitambo, but when you tell your friend I cook, I wash, when you are at home they start judging you,
They
see.
judge. Okay.
Yes.
So this brings us to the question of gender roles. Are there like like what gender roles ni a real thing? Ama they can be flexible and yeah.
Gender roles, because of this, we got westernized.
Yeah, we got your
Yeah, we got westernized. So there's
That is the problem.
I know there's some things, of course, which we can share together.
Yeah,
Females will give birth, of course,
of course.
that's given. But then things like washing the dishes, doing laundry, because you can find sometimes you're from work, you're tired,
Yeah.
you can't just come home. Utensils are there, the house are not clean, simply because it's a female how to do. Yeah.
And Noel said that kuna aspect ya being judged after when you deviate from this set gender roles, and it's quite sad to experience that. Okay, so I want us to talk about how these energies affect our relationships and especially dating. How do masculine and feminine energies? Okay, I'll start. I feel like women are not supposed to pursue men because we're not. That's not when you're pursuing a man, you're in your masculine energy. Pursuing is a man's thing to do. Yeah, that's what I think about it.
I mean, I'd like to disagree with that.
Okay.
Yeah, because if you only date the people that pursue you, you won't always date everyone that you want. You're only limited to the people that pursue you. So, like, I feel like you can, if I like a guy, I can also pursue him. But the thing is, I won't ask him out.
Good.
Like nitakupursue nikupe hints, but I'm not going to ask you out. And that's mainly because they end up being hard-headed, alafu ego inapanda through the roof, and that's the only reason why I can't ask a guy out. Otherwise pia singekuwa na shida nayo. It's just that it also comes with this ego, and then anaona like siendo alinitaka wa kwanza, so then it goes downhill from there. But pursuing a man, it's something I feel like girls can also pursue men if they want to, because then you can date whoever you want. You're not limited to only the people that pursue you. Yeah.
There's some girls who come out strong. Hey, they pursue men.
Mimi si strong soldier.
The pursuing. Go on, say.
But it's just better when men do the pursuing.
It's true.
If you like
If you like someone,
so if you like someone, you're not going to pursue them.
pursue in what sense? Asking them out,
No, like to pursue someone, drop some
hints,
hints.
smile there.
Yeah.
That one you can
Vibe
do.
kidogo. Like
That one you can do.
Yeah, you can do that.
For me, it's for a girl, it's correct to pursue someone. Juu hauwezi niambia unataka mtu alafu unakaa tu. Una expect aje?
Sasa
Lazima umpatie hints.
utampea hints but see actively pursuing, like going to that guy's DM.
Exactly.
Like the type of pursuing you do is subtle, like unajieka place yenye anakuona.
Unapatia hints kidogo.
Hints,
Namwambia direct nakutaka.
nakutaka, do what you want with that information.
because I feel like if you ask a guy out when you tell my ego, and then I feel like men like the chase. So if something, you'll tell us if something comes easy, you won't appreciate it.
Utaanza kushuku.
Sindio? No, utashuku.
So for me, unaona kucheza girl, then asikwe na kiburi. Ego. Unajua there's some ladies ukichase wanaanza kukuwekea kiburi, anajua juu unamtaka, so anaanza so at least ucheze for like a month, uweke kiburi but usiweke sana.
Okay, so that okay.
But then pia I feel like okay, now kuna hii kitu ya okay, so there's playing hard to get, alafu when someone like tries to pursue you alafu umcurve anasema you're playing hard to get, but really you're not interested.
Yeah, that's true.
Mi naona like unaona venye amsema it's okay. Unaona for a man utajua anakutaka but hataki, like then kuna yule huyu mwenye anakwambia like kuna wengine like wako so toxic like wakikutaka wanakutaka like exactly. Na kaa utaki sasa sijui
So that's one of the ways masculine and feminine energy shows in relationships. Do you have another way or something to add on that?
In relationships, tuseme pia like in marriage, so like both parents have a job, sindio, and then you go to work, and then in the evening, let's say the woman atakuja bado afanye the cooking, the cleaning, and then a change diaper ya mtoto and whatnot, and that would be so normal, sindio. And then if a guy does it once, tunam applaud like wow, thank you for helping me today. And yeah, so I feel like this masculine and feminine traits also manifest themselves that way. And it's also like it also affects the father's relationship with the kid, because most of the time you'll find it's the mom who's there for the child, and then the dad is an absent parent. Yeah,
the dads are just there to give funds and yeah, bora ametuma pesa, bora amelipa school fees, kila kitu iko sawa. Yeah, may provide.
On the marriage thing, sometimes you can find the dad there if they're also present. But then, as Noel had said, unaweza pata some men before they marry, they'll go look for a girl maybe mwenye she knows how to clean nini nini. Then when you don't know to do that, you're not wife material.
Yeah.
So I think that even affects how the patriarchy goes.
Everything wife material.
Yeah.
I actually don't like that term. Mtu akiniambia wewe ni wife material, what? Yeah. Noel, do you have something to add on the same? Uko sawa? Okay. You have another way these energies show up in relationships. Okay, let me tell you one that's coming to my head right now. Going on dates. Like should a man pay the whole thing, ama 50-50, ama mwenye ameuliza date ndo alipe?
the equation inakuanga so hard.
Yeah.
Inafaa ikuwe 50-50 mi nikiona 50-50 juu for the first date na depend, for the first few dates a guy mwenye ameuliza mwingine out should pay.
The guy should pay first.
Okay, yes. Then after hapo like tumeget obvious 50-50 inaanza kuget nini story nyingi. You see?
no, I wanted to say that if we use examples, yeah, let's say we have two high schoolers, sindio, and they're both dating. Okay, if you ask someone out on a date and then you organize everything, then obviously you're the one who's supposed to pay for it. And then if you say it as a, okay, it's just a hangout, kila mtu kujeni to hang out, you can split the bill. But if, I think it's unfair to like do it as something that guys are always supposed to do. And I think it's unfair because if I give the example of, if we have two high schoolers who are dating, they're both relying on their parents and none of them is working. So I feel like it's unfair to expect the guy to be constantly paying for things in the relationship. And I feel like the woman can also chip in. So as much as in a society, bado tuko like very, very far, because like majority of us believe that it's always the guy. Yeah. I feel like inafaa kuwa whoever has the money should pay. Even if ni ngumu kuswallow na kukubali, I think it should be like that. Considering now that we've fought for women's emancipation, na sai, like we have women who get jobs, si kama kitambo, like they're also working and they're also earning. Yeah, I feel like at some point it should be like that. Whoever has more should pay.
Na pia like you see in dating, kama mtu anakupenda like a girl, mi nimerealize when a girl loves,
Yeah,
atatoa,
yeah, exactly,
atatoa.
exactly. If you like someone,
Yeah, atatoa.
otherwise ako hapo tu kukula na
Yeah,
kudip.
exactly.
Free food.
But you cannot tell me that a girl is allowed to propose.
No,
Yeah.
no. You get on one knee and ask Kama. That's crazy.
No, I feel like nimekuja hapa ku play the devil's advocate because personally I won't propose, but pia I can't judge someone. I won't judge someone who's proposing because we live in a society which has the beauty of choice nowadays. So like you can do whatever you want. Bora una imekufurahisha, you can do it. Like hakuna kujudge.
Mi naweza penda dem ana propose.
Unaona? Like I think to each their own.
Mbona?
Mbona juu kama like I'm ready but senior like I don't have the power ya kusema like naogopa.
Unaogopa.
Sasa yeye ako na hiyo courage atakwambia.
Oh,
Yeah.
and I feel like sahi kwa akili yako itakuwa like mbona anaogopa nini, unajua, but it's because tumepewa hii, like we've been brought up to feel like boys are supposed to be courageous, hawafai kuogopa, unaona, like they shouldn't be vulnerable, they shouldn't fear, they shouldn't, yeah, and that's valid. Hata kama it's like a tough mindset to change, I think ni very valid. Yeah,
May think not necessarily propose. I could tell the guy, I think we should get married at this, like nimweke yo of telling. But hapo getting down on one knee, hapo tumekata. Unataka? Utafurahi.
Ndafurahi.
like growing up sahi umepicture hata ni surprise, itakuwa like a cute surprise, akuja ni proposie na sahi anangoja sahi anangoja umproposie.
Okay. Now that we've been talking about all these things, do you think these labels are limiting the masculine energy label, feminine energy label? Do you think they're limiting, and how are they limiting?
Okay, for me it's limiting juu naona in feminine, like in masculine, a woman is not supposed to like kusimama in power, like be, yes, atufanye ni also a man pia ati si supposed like akwe venye ulikuwa ndako nimerudia like homestead ya kufanya chores, yes, and everything. It's limiting, yeah.
I was just going to say that it's limiting for sure, especially as a woman in STEM. Nikiambia mtu like nimefanya mechatronics engineering, wako like damn, kama kuna siku I was rewatching like Fast and Furious because I'm into cars and all that, and then so now this boy was like, kwani hujai watch before? And then I was like, no, I'm rewatching it, like I've watched the entire movie sequences na bado like I can rewatch it because I enjoy watching it. And then alikuwa like, what? Nikamuuliza kwani huenjoy, like huoni kama ni interesting? Akaniambia but like kwani dem. Yeah.
Yeah, umesema hivyo with your Fast and Furious. I really like Formula 1 so much. Drivangu.
It's a trick question.
I know it's very tricky, but I was telling someone I like watching Formula 1. akaniuliza unawachingi na boyfriend yako, and I'm like
what is DRS?
what is DRS? Ati, what is DRS is Danny Ricardo supremacy. But anyway, it's like hata ukiwatch a sport or something, ati we ni dem, unaona.
I also like Formula One a lot, and most of the time when I tell someone I like Formula One, the first thing is oh, unapenda juu drivers wao wanakaa vizuri. Like the whole time wanavaa helmet, I can't even see the guys, but okay.
Lewis Hamilton anakaa vizuri.
Of course anakaa, wote wanakaa vizuri.
But yeah. I also have a friend who likes Formula One kabisa. So she used ana watching zote until everyone now knows her for Formula One.
Wow, that's me.
Yeah.
Like I was up in the morning to watch practice.
Yeah, I know.
Mi yangu ni football. You guys love football because guys look good.
Oh my god.
Ati guys look good.
Team.
Sasa hiyo ni a stereotype.
Inakwanga hivyo like nikiuliza hadi best yangu mbona unapenda hii team, anasema this guy looks good.
Sasa pia hawa wana fuel the stereotypes.
Kuna watu. Yeah, I feel like maybe some people actually watch it juu madriver, like sorry, the footballers wanakaa vizuri, but then there are people who genuinely watch it because they enjoy the sport, and the fact that una meet a couple of people who fit the stereotype, you assume that everyone is like that, even though no, haikwangi. Like as someone who watches Formula One nasikia like rage kwa sababu most of the time that's what people say, that I watch it because of the drivers, and that's not the case. If anything, me, I'm more interested on the engineering and the strategies and all that, because I also want to be a Formula One engineer. Yeah.
Okay. So because you're talking about how these things are rooted in patriarchy, do you guys think patriarchy has contributed to toxic masculinity, and how so?
It has like 80%.
100%.
100%, yeah. Because okay, kama example yenye umesema, now men cannot do they can do the face mask but they can't go out with it. Whereas it's just skincare. I mean, utazeka tu without it maybe, and their preference when you have it and you want to use it. So the patriarchal system has really contributed to toxic masculinity, where when you tell someone do this and they stand on their ground kabisa, so they can't even be shaken or anything. Yeah, and the toxic masculinity as well contributes to not having some emotional perspective of some other people because of their toxicity. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. I also agree with what you're saying, and also like this jokes that oh, women belong to the kitchen. It all comes from toxic masculinity. So you see an ambitious woman and you start doubting her qualities because she belongs in the kitchen. Yeah.
For me, like men go through a lot by the way. So when they are more toxic, it's because they go through a lot. See, they don't like ya kutoa ni ku like fight. You can see men selo majamiana, they fight. But you guys talk inatoka. But
Yeah,
men
100%.
wako ndani like so that's why toxic inatoka.
Yeah, it's toxic because there are other ways to acknowledge the feelings that you're going through. It's just that it's seen as feminine, and that's why hawa to me, yeah, it's looked down upon.
What things can you say are toxic masculinity? Because someone was telling me masculinity is masculinity. There's nothing like when you are a woman, there's nothing like toxic masculinity. So because we are talking about that.
I think toxic masculinity is when you take the masculine traits and then put them to an extreme, and it's become like an either or. Like you can either be feminine or masculine. You can't be both, and that's why it becomes toxic when you take it to that one extreme.
Taking to extremes makes it toxic. And this statement that people keep saying, oh, boys will be boys, that's very toxic, in my opinion. Because it's teaching men not to have accountability, because boys will be boys. There's no sense of accountability there.
Yeah, and you'd find most men they don't even own to what they maybe they did simply because why should I apologize?
Yeah, and I Now that you're talking about accountability and how men will be men, I feel like women have been raised to expect so little of from men, to the point that seeing them as these savage beings with no control is like somehow allowed, you know? Like that's crazy.
Like we are conditioned from birth to think those things. Yeah. Noel, you're too quiet on this.
Okay, for me men being toxic, sijui ndasemaje, like you were raised in a society by where like kwa mwanaume inafaa tu like yani mwanamke asikue yani asikwambie kitu, yeah, like you're the one, you're the head,
You're the
eh,
head.
sinjo kusema like women should but lakini opinion zao by the ina matter juu at some point wewe utaweza kuwa wrong but usikizi kitu anasema and later on utakuja kuwa na consequences yeah.
Consequences. Yeah. Can we redefine masculinity and femininity and separate it from patriarchy? Venye tumezoea. Is there other ways we can do this?
I feel like we already have these traditionally defined traits linked to masculinity and femininity. And rather than separating them or trying to figure out how to, like dismantle them, uh, instead of attributing it to one gender, we should be like a woman can be both feminine and masculine, and a man can also be both feminine and masculine. Yeah.
Okay, for me like for masculinity need dominance, like it's more of dominance, then patriarchy is where a man is the head but he's not more, is he
Not
dominant,
dominant.
yes.
Femininity is dominant.
I have a question.
Yeah, ask.
Now, when I say patriarchy,
Mm.
how can you differentiate it from archaism? And find
Atheism ni like thinking ya kitambo.
uh,
Oh.
because
Or like, are you saying
okay,
atheism in
like
that we have patriarchy and matriarchy?
because you'd find that most of the time, kama saizi when you're saying men, see kuna this traditional man wenye tutasema they're archaic, they're deeply rooted to the culture. So in a way, how can I differentiate it from patriarchy? Yeah.
Like I said, I believe that African societies were not patriarchal. Yeah, because again, I said women used to participate in trade, farming. They were also involved in decision making. We had strong women warriors, Kiname Katilili Wamenza. So this whole thing came when we had the colonialism happening, and then the white men came, and then to separate the white woman from this whole thing, she was supposed to sit pretty and take care of the house. And then now we have like black women, black men, black children being slaves. So that's, and then now when they left, we stepped into this regime of a patriarchal society. Yeah.
But I want to believe like right now, most of the people are doing the archaic culture. Sana sana. Eh,
Tell us more on that.
and the archaic one. Now that's where the question was coming in, because I feel like somehow it doesn't have too much difference between the archaic and the patriarchal system.
No, I just feel like for real we assume like we were born recently, so ukifikiria kitambo, even that post-colonialism era still feels like kitambo and traditionally,
yeah.
but kitambo before that, yeah, I don't think that, like we had
Yeah, we
like
had
yeah,
it, yeah.
like the patriarchy as we know it was largely influenced by colonialism, because we also had like matrilineal societies where inheritance was going down through the mother's line. So yeah, I think ni venye we have that post-colonialism mentality at the moment. Yeah.
I think it could be difficult to dismantle patriarchy on its own because that's how the world is running right now, and haitakuwa kitu rahisi kwanza ku uproot. I think what we can do is just acknowledge that we have masculine and feminine energy, and we should be able to be comfortable in that and not feel ashamed and not think that people will judge us like individually, because we can't change a whole society.
Okay, okay, mi nimeona like you see like the feminine energy and the masculine energy, when they come both together they build up a strong community. Yeah, awezi jajiwa like utafanya like everything yours will flow. Utakuwa na
Okay, so what does a woman whose masculine energy is dominant look like? Not according to us, according to the society. Yeah.
bosi.
According to the society, a masculine, masculine. I know.
Masculine woman.
Maybe you find okay.
I don't know, maybe wenye
kama-
siku hizi wanaendanga kufanya weight training.
No, but people
I
go to
don't
the
know.
gym.
Yeah, I
Maybe
know, but then you know there are
congesting,
those. Yeah. According to the society, we're talking about according to the society. Do I feel like sometimes boys see that and they're like, "Hey, we are like ni mwanaume." So like according to the
Mbona
society,
unamuogopa?
yeah.
Me for girl like kaiza ya kwenda gym, it's okay, it's healthy,
Yeah, very.
but shida sasa muscles anaweza kupiga.
So that's a masculine woman.
Yes.
Jokona muscles atakupiga.
But at the same time unajua sasa women by the way nyi mkipata like nikiona like when a man is like ako chini yenu kidogo like mnatumia your advantage like you make him like you girls siku hizi nyi mnataka mtu yani ako already, then you chip in.
You don't want to build someone.
Yeah,
from
you
the
guys
ground.
you don't want to build someone like you want men who are already na huyo sasa like if I own like kanapata salary nyingi and me then wewe utakuwa bosi kwangu juu ati you are highly paid and a lot of things.
No, but I feel like it's because in today's society, people value things and use people. But I feel like it's supposed to be the other way around. We should start valuing people and then using things. And we should not like, we've put so much emphasis on how money is important in a relationship, but there are other things to offer in a relationship other than just money. Yeah.
In the relationship, Nell is saying nowadays women don't wanna grow up with build grow na mtu.
Yeah, to grow with
Yeah.
someone.
Grow with someone. But then depends with it depends with the audience really. Ati ni wote.
Wote. Experience wote.
Eh,
So I feel like men, okay, this is a personal thought and a personal observation. Men when they get unaweza build mtu from the ground, lakini akipata pesa ataendea type yake, hapo utaacha kwa type yake. So that's why most women shy away from that. Yeah. Okay,
inakuwa madharau.
inakuwa madharau na kudharau kabisa. What are expectations of being a real man? What's that, and how do we see it in our society?
For a man you have to be strong, not emotional, like usifiche, like inafaa ulie kwa giza usionekane. Also for man you have to be productive, like usikwe tu like lazy one. For man also you have to be a man, you have to do a lot of things. You have to be semaje, a leader. You have to be a leader. Yeah.
But do you think that's like not healthy? It's not healthy to box yourself in such thinking.
It's a lot, but unajua sasa the society imetufanya like tukue in that
I think see healthy 100%, and see kusema too, because even if you look at the suicide rates everywhere and especially in Kenya, we have like I think 2022 the suicide rates for men were 4 times higher than the suicide. Yeah, and I don't know how it is like sahi, but I'm pretty sure like it's still higher in men than in women, and it's because we have this whole expectations to make a men. Yeah.
I feel like men should redefine that. You don't have to put kujiekea vitu ama kulia kulia kwa giza because it's not healthy.
Mm, the actual because nowadays I've been seeing that also men are doing mental health programs,
Yeah,
so
AD. Shout out to AD.
they should really be checking up on that opportunity, because when you find someone who you can be confident to open up,
Mm,
now that's even good, and it
mm,
helps us to build some strengths in this patriarchal society.
mm. Okay. In this talk about feminine and masculine energy, why is it in relationships men are pressured to lead and women are pressured to be submissive? And so, to conclude the good conversation we have had, I would like you guys to share some hot takes concerning these masculine and feminine energies.
Okay, for me, I'll say like masculinity energy and feminine energy, when they come together, they bring a positive outcome. Yeah, like at the same time pia wanasema nyi mnasemanga ati what a woman what a
What a man
man
can
does
do.
a woman can do that.
This day
But hiyo ni
sema hivyo.
uongo. But ni uongo at some point, but nyi vitu hiyo ni roles zenu you do perfectly as men, as we perform our roles perfectly.
Perfectly.
Yeah, so everyone like enjoy their roles and they do it perfectly, like
Okay.
My hot take is we are all humans and we should embrace the full human experience,
Mhm.
whether is being a nurturing man or a nurturing woman. Everything is just there, it's given, you can just acquire it, provided it's for your own sake. So yeah.
This is not necessarily a hot take, but forget what the society expects from you and just do what you want. Because now we are like in a society where we have the beauty of choice and you can do what you want. If you want to be a housewife, you can be a housewife. If you want to be an ambitious woman who builds her career, you can also do that as well. So just forget what the society expects of you and do what you want.
So, to our viewers, thank you so much for joining us on this episode. I hope that it will be enlightening. Now, you'll enjoy. So, you can comment your thoughts on the same. Yeah, you can share your thoughts in the comment section. So, to before we finish, I'd like our guests to tell us their Instagram handles so that you guys can go follow them and support their influencing careers.
Influencing. Okay, you can find me on Instagram as Hogler, HOGLER tattoo. So HOGLERR. And you can also find me on TikTok with the same username.
on Instagram you can find me at Noel SMN.
Caroline, you can find me on Instagram with the spelling is C underscore R full stop then online. Thank you.
Okay. Mine is Kimani_Kimani.Wanjiru. Bye, guys. See you in the next one.